What's going on, everyone? It's Sly Tiger with Sly Tiger Survival, and I'm still moving. I am gonna be getting the rest of my shit out of here in Thursday. And then I'll slowly move plates and dishes and shit. Just all the big shit is gonna be the big fiasco. But Thursday afternoon is when that's gonna go down. So I'm moving to an older house, about 5 minutes away. But this new house. I'll show you all a video about this piece of shit. But I mean, it's nice. I live in a ballin' house. This was the weatherman's house, actually. The news weatherman's house. So I mean, I do live in nicer neighborhoods because I've lived in ghettos. I lived in an apartment complex around Houston one time. I remember going to work, dodging a knife that was thrown by, there's 3 simultaneous fights, and I remember dodging knives and throwing shit, and the cops coming at least 2 or 3 times a day. And there's meth heads next door and shit, and so I really take defense seriously. You know, I was in Hurricane Katrina. I've lived in bad areas. You know, I also lived in El Paso when it was the murder capital of the world across the border. Every apartment complex I've ever lived in has had shootings or major things going on, you know, similar to shootings. I've had Molotov cocktails blown up outside my house before I joined the military. So I really take this shit serious. I don't know what the fuck it is, but everywhere I go, there's like a fucking rain of violence that goes on around me. So I think that's why I am so obsessed with guns and gun prepping, I guess. So in a way, this has become my gun channel, or psychotic gun prepper channel. But I do have a lot of food. I mean, beyond all this shit, and that's just mostly leftovers right there. I have a shit ton of food, a pantry, and tough boxes full of MREs. But I never talk about that on my channel. I noticed Mosaic Master made a video saying I'm not a gun channel, and he's right. But the main thing I do focus on, living on the border, is guns and shit like that. So now, for Christmas coming up, I'm thinking about getting one more carbine style rifle, and I'm thinking about getting an exact M70AB2, an extra one, or an INPAP underfolder. I've loved this rifle so much. It just, you know, I got it because I like the bayonet lug. It's the reason why I got this. I thought it was an actual Zastava, but it does have a US made barrel and receiver, which receiver I don't care about because it's no DAC spud. But you know, I've really liked this rifle, and but the INPAP underfolder will be lighter. But this is essentially a short-barreled RPK and it's compatible with a lot of Yugo RPK stuff. And the Tabuk is also really compatible with half the shit on this rifle. But it's a short-barreled RPK underfolder without a bipod. Is pretty much what this is. It's pretty fucking cool. But I was thinking about getting that. I was thinking about getting a subcompact pistol, but since I don't have a concealed carry yet, I will hold off on that. The 2 pistols I've been looking at is the Glock 30 full size. It's a 45 with the 10 round magazine. It's a subcompact. It's really fat. It is a short, fat, blocky Glock, but it's cool. If you hold one, it's likable. At least it is to me. Now, I am already planning on getting another Glock, and it's between that or another Glock 19. Now, let me talk about the Glock 19. I can put it in my pocket. Let's see if I can back up far enough. I literally forgot it was in my pocket the other day and was walking around. Like this thing compared to my M&P 40, the M&P 40 has a big ass beaver tail and a lot of shit hanging off of it. It can be concealed, and I've definitely concealed it a time or two. But I do like the Glocks I'll be curious to see what M&P does this year at SHOT Show, but I think this is the ideal pistol for this day and age, because from what I understand, the rifling in their barrels, they don't bleed off a lot of gas, and they act like they're a little bit longer barrels than what they are. And I shot it. It was pretty fucking accurate. I've heard Glocks aren't accurate, and I was really surprised. It fits really good, but you know, the magazine capacity is insane. You know, 15 rounds. I'm carrying a few subsonic self-defense loads, Spear Gold Dot, and critical duty. Critical defense, I heard, had some issues with penetration, but the only good hollow points that I could find was the 124 grain plus P PDX ones, but I'm looking for the critical duty 135 plus P. I really like the way they perform. If you watch a Tennessee Outdoors video on how they perform and penetrate, they exceed the advertised velocity out of a Glock 19. So I like how he tests things with a Glock 19, because most people are carrying pocket rockets or a little bit longer, or the Glock 19. So a lot of people will test shit and, you know, fucking M&P Pro 5-inch barrels and shit, and most people are carrying something smaller. So it's good to hear the bare minimum average of what something will literally run. But velocity doesn't mean everything, and with pistols sometimes like the subsonic exceeds the penetration of the hypersonic loads, if that makes sense. So it's weird. I really don't understand that shit. But so yeah, I got some 124 grain PDX 1 plus Ps. There's supposedly the FBI special agent loads or whatever, but until I get something better, you know, I have a few rounds of the ones I want to penetrate, because I envision myself shooting a big old fat ass Mexican thug or something, which is what most likely I would encounter around this area in El Paso. If I lived in Tennessee, again, I wouldn't care about penetration as much, because most of the people doing bad shit are meth heads. So I would want something bigger, like a 45 that expanded really good. So here I'm focused on fat ass assholes. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm moving, and I'm moving to a pimp ass nice house. I'm gonna show y'all my house when I leave, and it'll piss off the trolls, because some of my trolls believed I lived at a different location on Fort Bliss, and I'm on the other side of a mountain from Fort Bliss. So anyway, it'll be funny. This is Sly Tiger. Thanks for listening. Take care.